There we go. So, did it record? It did record. So they added this new plugin, which is actually something developed by a third party called Mainframe. And they added it, it's usually towards the bottom. Oh yeah, this is also interesting. Let's see. Mesh. Where is it? There we go. Mesh. So this is actually like the cool kid on the block. So let's take a look at how it works. If I just create something simple like a cube or something like that. There we go. Then we have a cube. And then with the cube selected, I can go to create and then choose mesh. Create mesh network. And the default settings should be fine. So what it does is it creates this. A new model that is 10 boxes. Let's see, save layouts, outliner perspective. There we go. And in our outliner we have this mesh node. And if it's annoying, it scales my UI. Okay. In our mesh node we have different types of nodes we can use. And the first thing that actually happened was it created a distribution node on itself. You can make another one here if you like, but it has one here, and it's enabled. So if I disable it, it goes away. It can set the number of unit or instances it creates. Right now it does what's called linear, so it just makes one line of it. We can also do like different settings for how it will distribute this. You can also change the scale. Rotation. To create interesting effects. Can also offset it. But if we go up and instead of linear choose something different, you can see there's radial, which will create like a circle. There's a spherical that will add points to the surface of a sphere. Right now it's doing a randomized placement. Then there is a mesh, we'll get to that in a second. And then there's in position, PP, and grid. If we go to the grid settings here, we can change the number of elements in the grid. We can make it into like an array instead, other things like that. And let's go to the mesh thing. So when I choose mesh, it will ask me to connect to a mesh. And then I can just create another mesh. For instance, let's say something like a torus. Just move that to the side. Scale it up. And then go back to my mesh network and find my mesh settings. They are down here somewhere. There we go. And in here there is an input mesh. So I'll drag my torus into the input mesh. And what it does now, as you can see, is that it starts to add, just hide this one. It starts to add all of these points to the surface of the torus. So you can see if I make like 2000, they will all be sitting on the surface of the torus. Other things I can choose is just find the mesh settings here. There you go. I can also change this to, for instance, face center. So you can see now it'll sit in the center of the face, and then I can turn on flood mesh, so it'll just make one cube per polygon in the original one. So you can see here. So if I change this torus, I'll get more small cubes on the surface of this. So you can use it to create weird and wonderful effects. And let's go and change some of these settings here. See, this one will let you sort of animate the cubes appearing. Yeah. There's also strength that will let them fly away to where they came from. And same thing here, where they will do it in a more orderly fashion. You can also use maps to do this. So if you, for instance, use a map here, then it can control how they're added. So if I add a checkerboard, you can see that it sort of creates these checkerboard areas for it. So that's also an option. Ooh, let's see, where is it? It's there. I'll just break this. It can also use a lot of other fancy effects, but this is sort of like the fundamental part of the distribute node. In the mesh node, there's also a lot of other settings. You can use audio to animate things. You can add noise, offset things, use springs, things like that. So if I add noise, add to position, you can see it starts to offset where things are positioned. So I can change the amplitude here in the x-axis and in the y-axis. So you can just add effects on top of the existing one. So you can see now I have not just my distribute node, but also noise position here that I can use to change how it animates. See, so this noise will just create this nice little effect, and if I make the frequency higher, it should like work a little faster.
Where is the IT department?
Because he's sort of asking for it. Okay, so I have this cube down here still, and I create a mesh network there, and then I go to the distribute node, set this to mesh, go to the mesh section, and then in this case I drag the type into this. So what it should do is it starts to distribute the cubes through the letters here. You see I can make a lot of cubes here. They are sitting in funny places. I can also change that instead of scatter it uses vertex or edges. Let's see, edge here, so they sit on each edge. But what I'll do here is I'll set it to voxel, and then I'll just hide the mesh. So here you can see what we do now is if I just make this cube slightly smaller, like so, and then I just need to find the voxel settings, and then when I make the voxel size smaller, it'll make more voxels. So it's kind of fun that we can do things like this. We can also add noise to this. So if we go in here and we add maybe noise, there we go. So you can see now you get this funky moving thing. So once you got it installed, I think you should just play around with it for a few minutes. It's pretty simple to use, at least for simple things. The idea is you create like a replicator object, like a cube or whatever, and then you create a mesh node on top of that, and then you can do whatever you like after that.